This is how I failed to make my great-grandma's oyster soup. So in my great-grandma's recipe book there are 2 recipes that describe how to make oyster soup or oyster stew, but neither is very clear on the instructions. So I had a look online and found that overall the ingredients were the same, it was just the order of introducing ingredients to the pan that was different. The next thing I looked up was how to open oysters. Not owning an oyster shucking knife, I found that you can use a screwdriver or a flat knife or a small chopping knife. So I started with a screwdriver thinking that it would do me the least damage if I happened to slip. And I really struggled, as you can see, with this oyster. I then used a small knife and I still struggled, and in the end I found that actually it was just that oyster. In the end I was able to just use, as you can see, a flat knife to open most of the oysters, and I was able to extract most of the liquid and all of the flesh. I then melted butter in a pan, adding some flour, and then once that was cooked together I added a cup of milk. Once that was heated up, I then added some lemon rind. At this point my soup was smelling really nice. I then added the oysters along with the liquid that came with the oysters. Unfortunately at this point my soup split, and I wasn't really sure if I had overcooked the dairy or if it was adding the oysters that did this. Nevertheless I persisted, I added the parsley, I let it cook a small time, and then I took it off the hob. At this point I decided that I should try a little bit, and it turned out that I'm not really a fan of oysters, or at least not this way of cooking oysters. So luckily I did have a backup plan. I took out a fillet of monkfish and I wrapped it in prosciutto. I then fried it for a couple of minutes either side in a pan with a little bit of oil before putting it into the oven on a medium-high heat. I then put it in the oven that was heated to about 180 and cooked it for about 10 to 15 minutes. In the end I used some of that oyster soup and served it as a sauce with the monkfish. But if anyone can make a better version of the soup, let me know.